The South China Sea stands as a testament to centuries of power struggles, ancient trade routes, and modern geopolitical ambitions that shape regional destiny. This contested sea, rich with natural resources and strategic shipping lanes, ignites fierce debates and military maneuvers among several influential nations across the globe. Ancient maps drawn by Chinese merchants reveal detailed routes traversed by seafarers who once navigated these waters to foster vibrant cultural and economic exchanges. Maritime trade thrived as explorers journeyed from bustling coastal cities to remote islands, leaving behind artifacts that testify to their once flourishing presence indeed. A revered map from the early 1600s illustrates intricate details of the South China Sea, showcasing numerous islands and key maritime passages with precision. These historical charts not only mark trade routes, but also echo the ambitions of empires that once sought to dominate these strategically vital waters. Artifacts and pottery discovered on barren islands highlight a long history of intermittent occupation and serve as evidence of ancient seafaring prowess beyond doubt. Mariners relied on these isolated outcrops as waypoints, anchoring their ships during treacherous storms and providing safe havens from nature's fury when hope dwindled. The enduring presence of Chinese pottery and coins on these islands offers tangible proof of early economic activity and exploration beyond local waters historically. Colonial ambitions transformed the perception of these remote outposts, as European powers began staking claims over territories previously deemed insignificant with renewed strategic interest. The arrival of the French in Southeast Asia added a new dimension to territorial claims, igniting tensions over these uninhabited islets that escalated rapidly. Colonial administrations redefined regional boundaries while reaping benefits from resource extraction and expanding their influence over maritime trade routes through strategic negotiations and dominance. Strategic interests surged as emerging empires recognized the South China Sea's potential to influence regional security and global economic networks by securing maritime routes. Japan's rapid expansion in the 1930s signaled a dramatic shift, as military planners identified these islands as pivotal naval outposts for controlling strategic seas. During World War II, the region transformed into a theater of conflict, with Japanese forces dominating vast stretches of contested maritime space undisputedly effective. Isolated rocks and reefs evolved into critical military bases, as nations recognized their potential to project power and secure vital sea lanes with urgency. After the war, powers quickly moved to reclaim and redefine territories, planting flags on islands to assert sovereignty over these contested waters with determination. In a symbolic gesture, Chinese officials raised their flags on Spratly Islands, marking the beginning of an enduring struggle for maritime supremacy with resolve. A U-shaped line, drawn along the periphery of the South China Sea, soon emerged as a defining symbol of national ownership and unwavering pride. This symbolic line encapsulates historical narratives, territorial ambitions, and a persistent desire to reclaim a storied maritime heritage lost over centuries with relentless fervor. The subsequent civil war in China further complicated claims, as both nationalist and communist governments maintained distinct interpretations of territorial history amid growing tensions. Nationalist forces utilized American-supplied naval ships to enforce their early claims, turning symbols of assistance into instruments of territorial assertion in a resolute manner. Both the mainland and Taiwan have since embraced these historical claims, each nurturing a unique narrative of ancient rights and modern resilience with conviction. The evolution from an 11- line to a 9- configuration symbolizes internal recalibrations and shifting alliances in a rapidly changing region reflecting emerging challenges. Tensions have escalated as neighboring countries assert overlapping claims, each emphasizing historical evidence and strategic necessity for national security while maritime patrols intensify relentlessly. The Philippines, once a quiet nation, now finds itself at the center of disputes fueled by ancient claims and modern resource demands increasingly evident. A peculiar episode unfolded when a Filipino entrepreneur declared an independent territory, known briefly as the Free Territory of Freedom Land, captivating public imagination wildly. Temporary occupations and brief stints of self-declared sovereignty continue to muddy historical waters and complicate modern legal arguments, adding further layers to disputes globally. The discovery of oil in the late 1960s intensified competition, transforming a historical quirk into a high-stakes race for energy resources with explosive urgency. South Vietnamese forces, aiming to secure vital oil fields, collaborated with international companies to explore uncharted waters and assert regional control amid geopolitical pressures. In response, China escalated its activities, deploying naval vessels and support jets to safeguard its strategic interests around contested islands with unwavering military precision. A violent clash in disputed waters resulted in the loss of lives, marking a turning point in the confrontation between regional forces with severity. Permanent military outposts soon emerged as nations sought to consolidate their control and maintain a continuous presence in the area, ensuring strategic dominance indefinitely. Engineered out of natural reefs, artificial islands now host expansive bases, highlighting modern ingenuity in altering landscapes for military advantage through cutting-edge technology remarkably. Tensions continue to rise as international stakeholders monitor every maneuver, underscoring the region's significance in global security dynamics, while diplomatic efforts struggle persistently today. The advent of UNCLOS promised an orderly framework, yet the unique claims in this sea have continued to defy international norms, challenging legal boundaries. International maritime law, designed to allocate resources and define territorial waters, now faces unprecedented challenges from overlapping national claims, prompting global calls for reform. The 200 nautical mile rule further incentivizes nations to establish claims, transforming small islands into gateways for extensive maritime zones through strategic legal maneuvers. The drive to secure these islands reflects a broader struggle where historical legacy meets modern legal frameworks and military ambitions in a dynamic clash. Ancient history intertwines with modern law as nations invoke past exploits to legitimize their contemporary territorial pursuits, demonstrating the enduring power of legacy profoundly. Recent encounters in disputed zones underscore the ever-present risk of confrontation, as Coast Guard vessels exchange stern warnings during volatile patrols in tense moments. Naval fleets and Coast Guard ships have recently clashed near contested islands, illustrating the dangerous reality of modern maritime disputes, sparking international diplomatic concern. Diplomatic channels remain active as governments engage in high-stakes negotiations to de-escalate tensions and secure maritime rights, while legal experts seek lasting peaceful resolutions. Regular military exercises and surveillance operations highlight the readiness of nations to defend their claims under any circumstances, demonstrating unyielding commitment to sovereignty globally. National narratives fuel a sense of pride as educational programs and media outlets reiterate ancient claims and patriotic legacies, reinforcing a united national identity. In classrooms and public discourse, history is taught as a continuous journey of exploration, resilience, and cultural triumph, instilling hope and collective remembrance profoundly. Modern media portrayals capture polarized perspectives, with some emphasizing economic interests, while others focus on national sovereignty without neglecting the underlying historical context thoroughly. Global reactions reflect deep concerns about regional instability, as international stakeholders assess potential economic and security ramifications, prompting coordinated responses from major world powers. The South China Sea dispute remains a critical element in the global strategic landscape, influencing alliances and trade policies while challenging established geopolitical orders. As nations continue to vie for supremacy over these contested waters, the future of the South China Sea hangs in a delicate balance, uncertainly.